Kansas bounced back extremely nicely with a 9-point win over the Tennessee Volunteers. This is Sleepers Media. Carter Elliott, GregWaddell here. We do recaps and previews for a bunch of college basketball games. Go subscribe to the channel if you want to see them all. Kansas ultimately leaves the Maui Invitational, 2 wins in 3 attempts. Hunter Dickinson was given the microphone after the game, and really, honestly, pretty poised interview from him, pretty straight to the point, but just like, we really needed this one. Like, it seemed like he was kind of shaken of like, into a serious mode that we don't always often see from Hunter Dickinson. I think they knew how critical this was. I think a 1-2 trip in Maui would have been a disaster for Kansas, and it was not a disaster because they were able to get a marquee big-time win against Tennessee. This was a fun back-and-forth game until Tennessee just couldn't hit a shot, and then it stopped being a fun back-and-forth game.
Yeah, and I don't want to come on here and downplay anything that Kansas did because Kansas did what they are supposed to do. You don't want to do what Tennessee did in this game. Tennessee now finds themselves leaving Maui with 2 losses. Like, Kansas mitigated the loss that they took yesterday by Marquette by bouncing back and picking up a win against a really, really good Tennessee team. And credit to them for doing so. I thought that they were able to get, the play out of Hunter that he's capable of. I believe he had 18 and 16 in this game, something around those numbers. Had a real dominant game.
He had 20 rebounds. He had 17 and 20.
17 and 20. Like, you, those are just ridiculous numbers by him. And it's a win that I think Kansas needed. But I say all this to come back to this point. Does this win tell you more about Tennessee, or does it tell you more about Kansas?
I think Kansas.
Or the option is it doesn't tell you about either team. It's just 2 good teams, and Kansas came on top.
I think it tells us something about Kansas. Maybe not like anything monumental, but I think it tells you Kansas is tougher than we gave them credit for, I would say. Like, I think you and I came on and we were like, they don't have the dogs. You questioned their shooting. I kind of pushed back, but said I still didn't love their shooting. Like, we have a lot of concerns that are very real with Kansas. I think tonight, some of the guys we questioned and said were non-factors showed up more than we expected, specifically Jamari McDowell. Jamari McDowell gave them really good minutes tonight. He hit 2 of 6 threes. He had a couple rebounds and assists here. He played 27 minutes. Like, that's probably more minutes than I think you want Jamari McDowell playing. But I think he gave them really good minutes, and he looks like a huge piece potentially for this team if the others aren't going to step up and play well. I thought KJ Adams was pretty damn good tonight, 6 for 9 from the floor, kept getting to the dunker spot. He couldn't hit a free throw, but we said it was a 3-man team. KJ Adams can make them a 4-man team if he just plays well on a consistent basis. And Johnny Furphy, only 11 minutes, but he chipped in 5 points, didn't miss from the floor, hit a 3. So I don't know. They got more from their guys I don't believe in tonight than they have in other games. I don't think it's a coincidence they won the game when that happened. Nick Timberlake all the way down to only 3 minutes in this game. That should probably tell you something about where that's trending. But to me, on the Tennessee side of things, I don't think this tells me too much about them. Some people are trying to play the narrative of like, this team still has offensive problems. I didn't see any offensive problems. I just saw a team with 0 legs tonight. What did you see?
I saw a team that participated in a game with Zach Edey last night and Purdue last night. That's what I saw, because the offense was there. They were getting the looks. They were getting the shots. They just played in the game against one of the biggest, most physical presence last night in a game with like 50-something fouls.
Yeah.
They ran out.
There's a reason, like, when you're a student, if you're in college, right, there's a reason they don't make you take final exams and then start a new semester 6 hours later. Like, that's you're not supposed to play Zach Edey and then play Hunter Dickinson like 12 hours later. It's just unfair to them. They weren't up for the challenge, though. Like, while we can sit here and say it's unfair, every other team in the draw potentially had to do it. And Tennessee was not up for the challenge tonight. I was very unimpressed with them, certainly on the offensive end. Santiago Vescovi showed up. I think you and I will loudly agree. If Vescovi's your best offensive player, you're a bad team.
It is. And I want to reiterate, though those guys did not hit shots that I thought they did hit shots, but at least late in the second half, I thought they were a little bit off. But Gainey and Connect have to be the guys. And I think that Rick Barnes is going to have to make some tough decisions coming up about, you know, Zakai Ziegler in my eyes, because I think he's just hurting the team right now. Unfortunately, offensively, he's not able to finish around the rim because he's of smaller stature and doesn't necessarily have the lift or the finesse ability right now, coming off his injury to finish there, and he's not knocking down shots at this point. So it comes back to the fact that I think you just need to full on lean in on the Gainey connect thing and have Vescovi as maybe the third guy. Like we're talking about like big threes or big fours for teams. It can't be Vescovi 1 and the other guys behind him. It needs to be Vescovi 3-4 and then have Connect and Gainey be the guys.
Yeah, Vescovi's shot attempts, that's been a big thing because they've gone down a lot this season, and he's just been used much more as like spot shooter, floor spacer guy. And look, give him credit. Tonight he was 5 for 11 from 3. Like, that's objectively great. He hit 5 threes. He played his role really well. But to me, if he's shooting 11 threes, if he's shooting a third of your team's attempts from 3, and you compare it to what Dalton Connect did, like, you don't want that. You don't want that through Vescovi. You want it to be Connect and Gainey. The issue is that tonight, Connect and Gainey were not up for the challenge, as far as I'm concerned. Specifically, Dalton Connect. He played 33 minutes tonight. He left the game at one point and wasn't on the bench. Appeared he might have been having some more cramp issues. 3 for 11 from 2-point range, 1 for 6 from 3. He was 4 for 17. We're not a math podcast, but that's pretty easy math to do. 13 points on 17 shot attempts. We love Dalton Connect. We absolutely love him. The second halves are becoming a real thing with him, though. Why is he struggling in second halves?
Oh, I really don't know what it is. I can't really pinpoint anything. If I had to, I mean, there's one correlation with it. He's not hydrated enough. If you're cramping right now, then he's not hydrated. I mean, obviously they're playing in Hawaii. It's probably humidity level or some things like that over there. I know traditionally we see cramping issues when you are over there playing in the Maui Invitational, but yeah. It's something that I'm now monitoring. Like, looking forward, I'm going to see what that looks like and see if it becomes like a habit type thing. I don't think it's an issue, though, moving forward. I just think that, I mean, he's getting to his spots. He's getting the shots he wants. He's just, for some reason, in the second half, they're not going down. And I don't know if that's an actual reason you can pinpoint as of right now, besides the fact that he's not hydrated enough.
Yeah. Okay. It's something to watch for sure. He is very much a different player, though. Like, how he starts games versus how he end games has been wildly different.
Yeah, and it's not just the. Honestly, I'm fine with him. I was fine with him missing shots towards the end of the second half of the Kansas game. I was more turned off or put off by the fact that he wasn't being like it looks different than it does in the first half. Like, in the first half, he's getting the ball, he's getting shots up, he's going to the bracket, he sees a smaller guy on him, he goes into the post-up move, goes to the fadeaway in the center of the key. Like, the bag shows in the first half. In the second half, he just kind of seems to be in cruise control for some reason. And it's weird because he shouldn't be in cruise control because it's close games.
Yeah, and Tennessee needs him to be more than cruise control.
And they need him. They need him to be that guy.
Yeah, we'll see. I think he'll get better as the season goes on, but get the man a Powerade or something, man. I mean,
bro, come on, man.
Like, it's 2023 and we got nutrition teams that can't figure out your cramping superstar. That's what's going on here. Like,
eyes on the Tennessee Volunteer athletic training team.
I gotta say, like, can we? At what point is it just like grow up and eat a Nutri-Grain or something? Like, somebody help him out.
Wait, Greg, can I ask you one thing? How do you think you stop cramping? Like, do you think a Nutri-Grain will actually stop a cramp?
No, I don't.
Okay. When's the last time you cramped up?
I've never cramped up.
Really? Actually?
I mean, I've had like a Charlie horse. I don't consider that a cramp.
What's a Charlie horse?
I don't have the time or the intent to explain to you what a Charlie horse is. You can Google it.
Okay, sorry. This is a recap, not a medical WebMD video. My apologies.